Hello, my name is Orion from TCG FlightSchool. We want to invite you to follow along as myself and my trading partner Jordan learn and apply technical analysis on our journey towards profitability. If you'd like to join in on the discussion and learn technical analysis with us, check out our Facebook group, TCG FlightSchool, for more information and content. We hope you enjoy our daily trade recaps and technical analysis videos. Thanks for tuning in. Now let's get on with the technicals. Hey guys, alright, so I'm going to do, this is going to be one of two videos I'm going to do tonight. So this is actually talking about some trades that I took last week. Last week was the long weekend here. May long weekend was Monday. I traded one trade at home on the Tuesday, MTBC. I took a small little 5-cent loss on that. It was quick in and out, breakout or bailout. I had the kids with me. It didn't work out, so I just closed my computer and left it for the day. It was a $10 loss. It was minor. But Wednesday, I got into work, and I really just felt motivated to do some trading in the NASDAQ and my small accounts. So I saw HMNY gapping up pre-market on some pretty big news. I think it was a merger or something like that. Anyways, it was about a week ago now. So you can see the big move pre-market coming up from the previous day close of 243 to a high of 493. So I got really excited with this. There was a lot of volume in this pre-market move, which I should have known that it would have been a bit crowded. But anyways, I was motivated and I wanted to get in, and I could take. I figured, you know what, I'll take 100 shares because I've seen these $4 and $5 stocks and they get rolling and they do like 200% moves, and I always say to myself, I wish I took 100 shares and I could have grabbed, a dollar move or a 40-cent move and just took down some small profit. So I said, all right, I'll get in with 100 shares at the bell. And looking for a push up to the high of pre-market or a break of that pre-market high. So I got in right here. This is the 2-minute time frame. If I put the 1-minute time frame on, I can't actually get this far back. So this is the 2-minute time frame, and this thing opened up at 440, and I jumped in right away. And for some reason, I got filled at 460 because it was just moving so fast, and it went up to a high of 470. Now, I've made this mistake in the past of getting in at the bell, and the emotional, turnover is so quick. Well, after this big move, what do you think all these people that did when they woke up in the morning? They instantly wanted a profit take, and you know what? I didn't think about that. For some reason, I just thought, I'm going to get in, it's going to push up, it's going to break through the highs, and we're just going to keep rolling. So instantly started selling off, pushed down, and on this candle, I had an opportunity to get out. So this candle went down to a low. The candle I bought on went down to a low of 423. I was in at 460 with 100 shares, so I was already down almost $40. And right away, it went again down to a low of the whole dollar. So I thought, all right, I'm going to hold it into the whole dollar, and it will bounce, and I'll be able to recoup my money and get out. So it did. It did exactly that. It bounced off the whole dollar, pushed up to a high of 490. I did not sell. I really thought that it had the strength. It was going to have a weak open, and it was going to push through the $5 mark and go on a big 100 or 200% move. This is a huge mistake of mine, and I'm beating myself up over this. Is because I broke my rules. For one, I broke the first rule of breakout or bailout. On the first candle, when it didn't break out, I should have bailed out right away and taken my 10-cent stop loss, which I usually do. But because my mind was going, it's only 100 shares, you can hold on a little longer. I got down to that whole dollar mark, kept holding, and when it bounced, another rule of mine is when you get back into the green, if you do end up making that stupid move and holding through it, and you do get the bounce back up towards break profit, or even quicker back up towards break even, or even quicker into take profit, take your profits and get out of the trade. Your emotions have taken over you. They've clouded your judgment, and I didn't listen to myself, and that is exactly what happened. And it came all the way back down, and it broke down the whole dollar, and then I ended up selling on $3.87. I almost took a full $1 loss per share on this. Now, luckily, I was smart and I only took 100 shares. It was kind of all I could afford in this account. So I guess I mitigated my risk a little bit that way, but I still held on to almost a full dollar. So all said and done, it was like a $90 trade with commissions. So I was pretty frazzled. I was pretty angry, and I was recognizing that this was kind of having a big steep decline. I was seeing these little wicks get bought up, and I kind of said to myself, you know what? Don't let this frazzle you. Don't let this beat you up. Watch the charts, play the trade, and make your money back, which is another horrible thing to do. It's one of my other rules to break is don't ever revenge trade. And not only that, I also broke my rule, which I didn't realize until after I revenge traded, was at a 50 cent or a $50 max loss, I close my platform down and walk away. $50 max loss on this account. I close down my platform and I walk away. I've been really good at doing that in the past. Today or this day was not that day. So I was an idiot and I jumped in here at $3.80. I saw a little bounce here and a higher low, formed a little inside candle, and I got long with another 100 shares at $3.80. And 3 minutes later, it was about 3 minutes later, I sold at $3.92. So 12 cents a share on 100 shares, is $12. My commissions are my commissions are $9.90. So I really only made about $3. It was a green trade, but I didn't have enough share size to actually recoup any profits, get back any of my losses. So it was a green trade. I am happy about that. I did spot a bounce. I did do a quick in and out, but I am breaking my rule. So I did that. I told Jordan Lutz about it, and instantly he goes, "Don't you have a max loss set for your account?" And stupid me, I said, "Yeah, I do, but today I'm revenge trading and I'm breaking all my rules." And I even said, you know what, it'll make a good video, and hopefully people can learn from my mistakes. And I definitely am going to learn from my mistakes on this one. And every now and then you need to do this. I've never actually blown up an account. I don't plan on blowing up my account, but these are the types of moves with big share size where you could see, $2, $3, $4, $5,000 account be dwindled down to $1,000 or lower, within, let's see here, these are 2-minute candles, 2, 4, 6, 8 minutes. You could lose, $1 a share. So let's say you jumped in there with 4,000 shares, you could lose some serious money, right? Let's say you jumped in there with 700 shares, any amount, even 100 shares, I almost had a $100 loss. So again, like an idiot, I saw coming up into these moving averages, looking for a little break, and saw some higher lows coming through here. They were a little bit steep, but I was looking for a red to green. So I got long again on this candle when it popped over the $4 mark, and it came down here and went to back test it. Had a low of 392, and then it started to see the push up. I got long again with 100 shares at $4.03, and I sold on that same. I think it was the same candle. Yeah, it was a 12-second trade. 12 seconds. I was in at 403 and I was out at 413. So what is that? 10 cent profit per share. 100 shares, $10. My commissions again are $9.90. So I made 10-cent profit. But it was a green trade. Pretty happy about the quick scalp. Food for thought for making moves down the road of quick in and outs. I was watching the bid ask. I really watched the level 2 really well while I was making these kind of scalps. So yes, I took a big loss, but I actually learned a little bit about really how to watch the level 2 in those momentum trades and what to look for. Definitely what to look for on getting out of the trade with a loss as well. So again, saw some higher lows coming through here, and I also thought I was going to do another red to green. So I got long here at $4.05 on what looked like to me a back test of the $4 mark, and it failed right away. I think it pushed up a little bit higher. Just let me check here. Yeah, it pushed up the high of 413. I was in at 405, and then it came down to a low of 397. I sold right away, and then of course this candle came down here to a low of 390. Kind of made a bit of a little bit of a reversal hammer candle here, and then we saw a nice big long move to the upside of $4.50. So, if I'd been even a little more patient, I probably could have maybe gotten long on one of these candles and taken some better profits. This thing did end up putting in higher lows more or less throughout the day, and finding a new high in here of 479. So that was the 480 was the new high of day. Well, it wasn't a new high of day. It was the newer high of day after the one after the open that, I could have taken some profits on and never had any of these losses. So I rode the emotional roller coaster. I didn't listen to my rules. That's the importance of having a trading plan, is to have these rules. I think I was a little bit out of touch with NASDAQ momentum trading. I've been trading a lot in my TFSA, in the Canadian MJ stocks, and the NASDAQs are a totally different animal. But again, the same trading rules apply of have a trading plan, have a risk versus reward, have 3 exits, right? Or have 1 entry and 2 exits at all times, right? You need to find your entry. Where are you going to find it? Based off some higher lows, based off multiple tests off resistance, based on confirmed breakouts, based on RSI, bottom bounce reversal dips. Whatever it is you're going to base your entry off of, make sure you have that entry in mind and you set a buy stop limit and you're not chasing the stock after the move, right? If you miss your entry and you miss the move, just let it go. The other exit that you need to have right away is where are you going to sell for a loss? That comes in with your risk versus reward. If you have 100 shares and you only want to risk $10, well, it's pretty easy math, right? 10 cents on a decline in share price will be your stop loss. And last but not least, of course, where are you going to take your profit? You need to have that also based off your risk versus reward. As if you start getting into bigger share size, you can start to scale out of your position, take profits, get into the driver's seat, get your capital back, and go from there. But if you're playing with these small share size positions, you can't just sell 50 shares. I'll sell 20 shares, I'll sell 20 shares, I'll sell 20 shares on the way up, because you don't have a big enough move to justify the commissions, right? So trading with 100 shares, probably not the best idea for me. I made 2 green trades, which is a good way to get my feet wet and, remind myself, okay, you know how to get in and out of a trade. But, that 100 share trade of 60 cents, over 60 cents that I lost, that one really hurt me, right? So even though I had some little tiny gains along the way, I really ended up losing, almost 10% of my account on one silly trade because I was too stubborn to sell and I didn't stick to my own rules. So, I'm feeling a little bit down on this one. I'm not going to beat myself up over it too much. I'm just going to move on and learn from it. I also made some pretty good trades in the last week since then on Canadian MJ stocks, so I'm feeling really good about that. It's funny, my NASDAQ account, my accuracy is on the lower end. I think it's about 40%, and my TFSA and my Canadian account, my accuracy is pushing 70%. So, you can see that there's 2 different styles of trading that I'm doing, and my accuracy is obviously favoring the one side. And I don't know, if it's just because of the stocks, because I recognize them more. I know their support and resistance levels. I feel a lot more confident in the sector. Also, or maybe it's the platform that I'm using. Actually, the platform for my TFSA is CIBC. It sucks. It's a horrible platform. And my Quest Trade is amazing. It's fast. This is the one. This is the charting. The data, I still use all my data off at QuoteStream for both, but the charting is a lot better through NASDAQ and building candlesticks, RSIs, and watching volume move. So gonna probably move some TFSA money over to my Quest Trade account, set up a TFSA there, and start trading out of that. Just because the execution times are a lot faster. I find when I'm trading through CIBC, I'm spending a lot of time, logging in, refreshing pages, trying to get to orders, changing orders, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Whereas Quest Trade has a very nice user interface when it comes to order entry and seeing profit loss and managing accounts and executions. So again, that's a little bit about some of the platform stuff I'm doing. And this move was a hard one. We did see some textbook play here, where we saw the big dump, we saw some higher lows, we saw another pop. We tested some resistance levels, we came down, we printed some higher lows again. So this provided trades and moves for people that were more patient than I was and respected their stop loss more than I did. I took a good hit here. If I had waited for this dump, I would have actually done 2 green trades and a red trade. I would have been break even on the day, more or less. Actually, I probably would have lost on commissions on this one, but I would have been, 66% accuracy instead of 50% accuracy, sitting with near $100 loss plus commissions. So that's some ways to look at it. Commissions are the cost of doing business. I know a lot of people get hung up on them. They are the cost of doing business, and if you're going to use small share size to make trades, be aware that you're going to pay what I call market tuition of your commissions to learn how to trade that trade that you chose to make. So if you can keep your losses low or make a little bit of profit, even if it's 10 cents, even if you have a green trade of 10-cent gain per share and you lose it back to commissions, essentially you just got to trade for free and learn a skill. Because at the end of the day, there's no other really real way to learn how to trade except for trade. You can paper trade, but it has no emotion in it, because you can just reset your account and bring your funds back up to $1 million or 500,000 or whatever you started with. You kind of, a lot of traders say don't start with your own real money, but if you do have a small account and you can afford to put $1,000 in it and really kind of go through the trades and learn how to mitigate your losses, it's not the end of the world. It's better to practice. If your platform has a paper trading platform attached to it, like Questrade does, trade on that for a month or two, get comfortable with the platform so you don't make user mistakes. I made a few user mistakes in the beginning, and I paid for it. I had some stop losses that got skipped. I got frazzled. I entered numbers at the wrong time, and I took some bigger losses that way. It happens, and that's just getting comfortable with your equipment. So if you have a paper trader for your platform, use it for up to a month. And then fund an account and get into trading with just some small size and be realistic. Say you're not going to get rich overnight off of making one trade or in 5 minutes making one trade. But if you can get in and out of a trade successfully for break even or profit, that, my friends, is a green trade. So and that will carry over into all sorts of trading and investing and buying, taking on positions all down the life in your life on all sorts of different investment horizons. So that's all I got for tonight. That's a little bit of preaching here. I'm going to do a quick cover over some MJ stocks and another position that I took recently in Canadian zeolite today. So I will make that in a different video and post it right away. All right. Have a good night. Bye.